All right, guys, welcome in another episode, preview episode. The last preview. That means the season's got to be here. Only one more scrimmage game, and then next week we get to the picks. And early season picks are always the best. The Bentonburg's joined by Lawrence Morgan as always. Big time schools this week. We're going all the way up to the 7A, which is old but new now, because it went away for a little bit. But we're going to start in the local 4A region. We'll start with 6-4A. I guess I can pull up all the regions so everybody can see who's in it, because it's constantly confusing. Here we go. 6-4A. Who you got, Lawrence?
Right off the bat, I'd have to go with North Hall on this one. You know, North Hall had a good season last year. I think they're bringing quite a few players back. I think it's going to be very competitive, though. You know, I did a little thing this week. The top 5 rushers returning this year. I saw where Dawson County had the, second leading rusher in the area coming back. Coach Shaw did a great job over there last year in his first season. Pickens has got some young guys. Gilmer, very good to senior class. Like I said, it's wide open.
Yeah, you were right to call it on North Hall. They have 7 returning players that was either on the first team, second team, or honorable mention region last year, spread out between defense, offense, special teams, line of scrimmage, DBs, tight end, wide receiver. So they got a pretty good bit coming back, and they had a really good season last year. I just think the recent success, the success last year, and what they got coming back, I like North Hall to win that region, followed by a few of our local teams. Actually, I have written down Pickens to finish second. I watched Pickens the other day, threw the ball pretty well, kind of got shocked early by Model, and then they settled in. And I know it's early in the year, and once they settled in, they played fine. I would like to see that game continue because, Pickens kind of had momentum right there after halftime. They brought some other guys in, and then the first play was like a fumble snap or something, so kind of shot all their momentum. But they were able to hang in there to a pretty close game. But I like Pickens to finish second. And then if you're going down the list, Dawson County, which has been young for a while, they're kind of nipping on the heels. And, I think they could go up to 2. They could be down at 4. But I'll take Dawson, followed by a new region foe there, Gilmer, moving to 4A there. And then White and Chestatee, I think, is kind of going to be in a rebuilding league. So that's what I got in 6 Quad A.
Yeah, if I had to pick 4 like old school playoff teams, I know it's all power rating this year, but 4 I'd go with North Hall, Gilmer at 2, Dawson 3, Pickens 4.
Gilmer at 2. I mean, I think Gilmer is a playoff team, and I think North Hall, Pickens, Dawson, Gilmer. Really, North Hall, I think at the top, and roll the dice on the next 3. I think is where I would go with that region. All righty. Got some comments coming in.
Yeah, Eric kind of went with Gilmer, North Hall, Dawson, and Pickens. He forgot Pickens.
Gilmer to win the region. So we all kind of got the same people, just in a jumbled order. This one we know a good bit about, 7 Quad A. When you jump into 7 Quad A, what stands out? What jumps out to you?
I mean, what stands out is Calhoun right from the top. The year they won the state championship, I think they were 7-3 during the season. Everybody was kind of worried about them early because they dropped a few games. I got a feeling, that might happen again this season. I mean, they have a tough schedule. I think the toughest schedule in 4A. I know they're starting the season with Jefferson. I'm thinking they're playing Troup County, who's ranked number 3 in 4A early. But I think late in the season, man, they'll get on a roll, and I think they'll play.
Yeah, for a Calhoun team, they normally have players, littered all over the all-region team. They only have 4 players from first, second, or honorable mention returning. One of them just happens to be co-offensive player of the year, Trace Hawkins at quarterback. I'm telling you, I think Calhoun's going to be pretty good. I absolutely agree with what you said. I think that it's going to be tough in the beginning, and I think they're going to compete. I don't think they're going to get blown out or anything in these tough games. But, man, you've heard it 1,000 times, the old cliche, iron sharpens iron. Well, they're going to get sharp, and then they're going to cut this region up.
That year they won the title, man. You had all the boo birds about Game 4. They're like, what's wrong with Calhoun, man? Calhoun's on the downswing, and they end up winning the title.
Yeah, Eric's got Calhoun, Northwest, Adairsville, Heritage, Ridgeland, Southeast. If I was busting this one out, I think I like Calhoun. The 2-3, give me Adairsville, Heritage. I think Northwest probably in there in that 4 range. I think they're not returning as much. I think them and Heritage and Adairsville probably interchangeable. Ridgeland, improving with some talent, but I'd project them outside the top 4. And then Southeast, they're going to be physical. They're going to be well coached, and I like what they got going on over there. But I still think in this region, I like them to finish last here. So, hey, bulletin board material, right?
Yeah, I'm going to take Calhoun at number 1. A team that I'm going to get very familiar with this year, man, because they won my super fan poll. Heritage. I'm going to put 2. Tough one at number 3. I'm going to go Northwest Whitfield. Daresville at 4. And I agree. I think Ridgeland and Southeast Whitfield are both going to be improved this year. But it's tough.
Yeah, that Heritage team you're talking about, they return a good many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 off of offensive first and second team, along with defense and honorable mention. The Ridgeland squad, man, that Ridgeland squad is returning a lot. They're returning 14 players that were on that first or second team all region. So, hey, you could see that Ridgeland squad jumping up, and don't be surprised if they're challenging Northwest and these teams to win some ball games there. All righty. Next region. Getting a little bigger here now. 3 5A. Only one team from our area in this region. Do you have them winning it?
I think it's going to come down to Central and LaGrange. That's going to be your championship for the region. I know.
And I absolutely go ahead. No, go ahead.
I know both teams looked good last week, man. Their first scrimmage, Central beat Boyd Buchanan pretty handily, and LaGrange beat Heard County, man. Heard County's ranked number 1 in 2A or whatever.
Yeah, Central bringing back Player of the Year J.R. Harris and a couple other guys. I mean, they've 2 defensive linemen that were on this list here, wide receivers, some DBs, kind of a mixture of things. I think they lose their stud running back, but I think they've got plenty. The question I have is, can they beat LaGrange? It's really to me, I think this game comes down to where's it at? Where's this game at? I ain't looked at their schedule, but LaGrange has a lot of players returning. Over half of their players returning were either honorable mention or second team. All the first team guys that were there are gone. So they're going to need guys to step up. We've seen what Central has, and like you said, LaGrange traditionally strong, looked good last week. I'll probably take LaGrange. Sorry, I had to go against the hometown team, but I mean, if it's at Central, I mean, I see Central can win this too. Eric likes Central Carrollton. Stars Mill mixed in there. That I don't I don't know a whole lot about Stars Mill. I just know what they're returning, and I have them finish third, so on my list. So
Yeah, I do know the Lions replaced that stud running back with his little brother. So I mean,
there you go.
you know,
There
I'm,
you go.
I'm gonna go Central, LaGrange, Griffin, Stars Mill.
I got you. I like it. Griffin. I think Griffin's going to be in that 4, 5, 6 range. I like Stars Mill up there, and I like Harris and Whitewater in the mixture in the 4, 5, 6 with Lithia Springs finishing it out. All right, another local region here with a good many of actually all of them are our local teams. 7 5A. I'll just continue the same trend I've been asking. What stands out about 7 5A?
Cartersville Purple Hurricanes.
Yeah, pretty easy to point Cartersville out there. Most people would. I'm sure Eric, he'll be chiming in with Cartersville winning. New quarterback I seen for Cartersville, if I'm not mistaken. I watched some of the highlights I seen online. I think they'll be fine. I think the line of scrimmage looked good. They're returning multiple defensive stars. I think that's what's going to drive them. They got the defense going, and then Maddox Davis is a player on offense. Cole Crawford. I mean, they've got enough to where I'm pretty comfortable that Cartersville's going to win this region. Questions I have is, who do you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna pencil in Cartersville at number 1, solid number 1, man. I think they have the best chance of any team in our area of winning the state championship this year. Man, 2 is tough. It's pretty much even from 2 all the way to the bottom. I'm gonna put Cass at number 2. Lil Charles up there, man. I know Cass lost a lot to the graduation last year, but I think they got it going in the right direction. I think your surprise team in this region is going to be Dalton. Dalton scored a ton of points last year. They gave up just about as many. If they can make a few adjustments on defense, man, they have a chance to win 7 or 8 games this year.
Well, you spoiled my pick, because right behind Cartersville and maybe not right behind Cartersville, but behind Cartersville, I got Dalton. I think Dalton finished second. I think they got the talent to finish second. I think they put enough silly putty in those cracks on defense to get it done. I think Cass loses a good bit, and I think Cass is a playoff team. I also think Dalton's a playoff team. And I think that next level of teams is like Villarica, Cedartown, Altoona, and then Woodland down at the bottom. Now, Woodland's got a player. Does Woodland have one of those returning players that's over 1,000 yards? One of the few around here.
Solomon James Jr. I'm gonna pencil in Cedartown at number 4.
Okay.
I mean, they're young. I think they're maybe a year or 2 away for competing at the top. But yeah, I like the Bulldogs at 4.
I got you. And the scrimmage I saw the other day, some of the highlights I saw, they look pretty good. They look much improved. I think it's going in the right direction. I think Villarica is going to be right in there with them. Eric has Cartersville, Cass, Villarica, Dalton, Woodland, Altoona, Cedartown, and the Cellar. Check it off, Coach. Put it on the board. All right.
Eric 91. Eric 91.
There you go. Said what? All right. 5, 6A. Not a lot from our region in this 5, 6A. There's 3 schools. I think those 3 schools will be in the top half of this. Honestly, I think East Paulding, South Paulding, Hiram are going to be all fringe playoff teams. I think 2 of them, maybe even 3 of them make it. It just depends on how the rest of the region is. I think Osborne and New Manchester might have something to say for it. Chapel Hill and South Cobb, I think, are, competitive, but I would say they're more of projected to rebuild a little bit this year. So I'll go with I'm gonna go with Alexander as the champ, and then I'll have the border battle between East Paulding and South Paulding. I've always been bullish on South Paulding, but is East Paulding the Raiders?
Yeah.
The Raiders. Let's go with the Raiders finishing second, making the playoffs.
Scott, our math guy, he's always keeping up with the PSR for us, man. He's got stats out the wazoo.
Yeah.
He did this little thing, where he could project each team's record for the year. And New Manchester is predicted to go 10-0.
Wow.
I'm not necessarily going to agree with that because I think I have East Paulding penciled in at number 1 in this region.
Uh-huh.
I got East Paulding at 1, New Manchester at 2. I'm going to go Chapel Hill at 3.
Ooh.
South Paulding at 4.
I like it. I think it's going to be very interesting to see. I think this is a region that could be mixed up pretty good, especially in the meat of it, in the middle and up toward the top. So I like it, though. All right. We're going to refer to this one as the Rome region, 6A. Rome, some of these teams they're familiar with. What do you think? You think Rome can win this region, or you think a team like Kale or one of those other teams can knock them off this year?
I'll tell you what, man, this is a very competitive region for a rebuilding Rome team for sure. I mean,
yeah,
this is probably
oh
not.
Boy, you just put some bulletin board material out there calling them a rebuilding team.
Rebuilding, man. Let's go on and make some more. I got Kale at number 1 here.
I got you.
I'm going to take Sequoia at 2, Rome at 3, and River Ridge at 4.
Let's dig in a little bit. Is the reason why you have Kale taking a step above Rome here the absence of unnamed quarterback that's not there anymore?
Yep.
Yeah. I understand. I mean, I get it. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. I'm sure they do by this point because, of all the craziness this went on. But
I've heard through the grapevine that
all
they're
right.
still looking for one.
I mean, at this point, that wouldn't be good for a team that's in 6A because you can pretty much find somebody to hand the ball off, but if you can't move it around through the air, it's going to be tough to beat teams like Kale and those teams. So we'll see. I tend to agree with you, and we're going to get some hate mail, but I'll go with Kale at the top of the region, followed by Rome. I think Sodalin in the playoff, maybe Creekview. And then it's kind of a mixture, maybe Sequoia, River Ridge, Woodstock, and then you go on down to Pope and Laster at the end. Eric likes Sequoia second.
Yeah, he's got Rome in at first, Sequoia second, Kale, Woodstock fourth.
Okay.
Eric's even calling a potential Woodstock upset of Cartersville this year.
Okay. I mean, hey, when you're plugged in, man. I mean, I can't tell him he's wrong. All righty. Next region here is 2-7A. 5 teams in this region, 1 from our area. And I'm pretty sure we're both going to agree that the Carrollton Trojans are going to take this region. Who's their closest competition?
Closest competition will be Douglas County. Like I said, and if you had any doubt that Carrollton was one of the best teams in the state, you need to fire up that scrimmage from last Friday, man. I was super impressed with that score.
Yeah, Douglas County returning 13 first or second team and honorable mention players off the all-region list from last year. Carrollton, not too shabby their own self. You know, they have 8. Uh, you know, loaded. Both teams pretty loaded. I think the talent at Carrollton is enough to win this region. When you go on down the list here, I don't think East Coweta, Northgate, or Westlake are going to compete with the top 2, and definitely not with Carrollton in this situation.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil any fun, man, from our pick'em show next week. But I put the stats together already. I've already got the game lines out for us to talk about.
Yeah.
Carrollton at Rome next Friday night. What would you think?
Well, I'm not going to act like I know because I think I may have heard from you or saw what it is. But all I'm going to say is it's more than 21. And do you think they cover? Well, let's not even answer that.
28 at Stadium.
Yeah, it's tough. But athletically, they probably have the skill to do it. We'll just have to see how it goes. Have to see. All righty. The biggest, well, not quite the biggest, but one of the biggest, 5-7A here. This region has 2 of our foes from Northwest Georgia area, North Paulding and Paulding County. Either one of these teams got a chance at winning this region. I mean, obviously they got a chance, but do you have either one of these teams winning the region?
I think North Cobb wins the region. I'm going to go North Cobb 1. I thought Marietta, man, you know, I mean, they still probably are pretty tough, but heading into the season, I'd heard a lot about them this summer, man, that they were much improved, would compete playoff spot this year. But after last Friday night, man, you kind of have to.
I think when I look at Marietta, when I did a little research on them, I think the ceiling is high for that Marietta team, I think. But when you're not at the ceiling level, where is your floor? You know what I mean? Like, can you be consistent enough for the floor to be good enough? And I'm not sure. That's why I have Marietta in that 3 to 5 range, specifically at 4. I like North Cobb, but I mean, I kind of like Walton. I think Walton is one of those teams. You know they're going to be good. I mean, they're. It seems like they're consistently good, and they just produce. And I mean, I have a hard time picking against them winning this region. What do you think? What do you think of that?
Yeah, I'll tell you about the 2 teams that we cover in this area. I think Paulding County is going to be much improved.
Yeah.
And North Paulding, I mean, they're having to replace a 4-year starting quarterback. That's always tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Walton and North Cobb at 1 and 2.
Agree.
I'll take Marietta at 3. And I'm going to throw a surprise in here, Cherokee.
Okay. I mean, I think Cherokee's a playoff contender. I think this is a pretty stacked region. I think some fairly good teams in here, and I don't hate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that is all of our regions in this area here.
I'll tell you, Eric went with North Cobb, North Paulding, Walton, and Etowah, his top 4.
Okay. He's got. I mean, so we're similar in the teams that we like. I guess we can have a quick discussion about what you kind of alluded to earlier, the playoffs. Playoffs? We're not even to the season yet. We're talking about the playoffs. What I'm talking about is the way the playoffs will be selected. They're going to use the PSR method again, but only the top ranked team, only the region champ is going to be automatically in the playoffs. So let me pose a question to everybody and to you, if you want to answer. Will there be a region that only gets one team in the playoffs?
I think
I know it's hard to know, but
I think there will be, like I said, Scott, man, he crunches numbers all the time, and he gives me all this little inside information. I think there will be one region that only gets one team in, but it's not going to be from our area.
I
think
got you.
I think our area still sees the same 4 teams in. I think if you finish in the top 4, you're probably getting in.
Yeah, I think you'll see 3 to 5. Eric says yes, there'll be a team with just one player in, and I'm not sure what region you're thinking of, but I have a hard time trying to keep up with the teams that we cover. So until it's playoff time or close to it, I have no idea what the other teams may have. So,
yeah, I think Scott actually broke it down, and for the most part, it's 3 to 5 is the common, with the 4 being just about the average.
I got you. I mean, it doesn't change much. In my opinion, I like it because what it does change is the ability to get more than 4. If you have a super competitive region, that the teams deserve to be in the playoffs. I mean, in the past, we've seen teams go through a gauntlet, lose 3 or 4 games, be right there in 5th, but be competitive with almost every team that they lost to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think it's going to make, just like last year, I think it makes the playoffs better. You don't have as many blowouts in the first couple rounds. There's still going to be some. It's matchups, but I like it. I like it. I think we're going to see how it goes. They're weighing a little more on wins, right? Not just who you play, but do you win?
So if you finish second or third in your region, you're going to at worst be 5-5 probably, and that's enough to get
you. Yeah. I mean, what it does put out is the 1-9, 2-10 team that only have 4 or 5 teams in their region that win 2 or 3 games and get in, because I don't think you're going to have the PSR to get in there. You're not going to have the rating to get in there. So,
yeah, I think the thing I like about it is actually a team that would finish 3rd place in a traditional playoff format could actually host a playoff game first round. I mean, if their PSR is high enough, you see all these teams that are like 8-2 and they have to go on the road to first round.
So honestly, it doesn't matter. I mean, you could finish, for instance, 5th in a region, and the odds are that your PSR is not going to be high enough, but you could theoretically you could be hosting a game in the first round and be that low. So it just depends on who you beat. Johnson County's region in Class A has the opportunity to only have 1. I don't know if that's the one you were thinking of, but
yeah, there is one in the smaller classification, probably the one he's talking about, and I think there's also one in either 6A or 7A down in Southeast Georgia that only has like 4 teams in it.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense. All right, so where are you going Friday night? You said
I'll be in Chattanooga, man, watching Heritage and Boyd Buchanan at Finley Stadium.
Okay, yeah. I remember we looked at that schedule.
I gotta get me a Heritage hat, man, between now and the start of the season, so I'll be ready.
All right, we're putting it out there. He's coming to the game. He's going to be coming to a few. Somebody hook him up with a Heritage hat. I know in the past, Coahulla Creek was really good to us. I have my Coahulla Creek hat in there in the house. I normally don't wear it on the show, but I'm not against it. And if you're wondering why my hat is see-through, it's because it's green. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but I'll have to remember not to wear anything green in the future. But
Eric says
I think. Go ahead.
Cass and Calhoun this Friday night. I guess
Cass and Calhoun.
That should be a good one.
Yeah, I mean that'll be a good kind of litmus test for both teams. See how that goes. I was wondering. I think Southeast was going to Gordon Lee tonight for a scrimmage. No, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, yeah. I think it's Gordon Lee. Is it Gordon Lee at Southeast though, right?
I don't know. I'm almost thinking it was the opposite, but I don't really know for sure because I was talking about going up to Gordon Lee and checking it out, but I'll have to double check. But it should be interesting. I seen Southeast in the spring. We'll see how Gordon Lee matches up with them. I seen Southeast in Chattooga in the spring, which I'm sure both teams over the summer and fall camp so far, if it ain't really fall, but summer camp so far, um, have improved. Um, Friday night, I'll be in Somerville, uh, in county foe trying coming to Somerville, and that's always a big spectacle. It is just a scrimmage game, so I'm sure there'll be two and a half, 3/4 varsity, whatever. That's what people normally do. Won't be any kicking, I'm sure. Maybe kick field goals or whatever, but no live. I say that it could be different, but normally they don't. It'll be interesting to see how the Indians match up. Trying coming in with a senior quarterback that's started, I think, 3 years now. Tryon did lose a lot, losing Henderson. He was kind of a bell cow, played quarterback, running back, on defense, all that. They got a couple receivers that's left, but I look for trying to always put a tough squad out there, and I think they're going to have a good year. And what do you make of the Bowden or the Bremen Rockmart scrimmage last week?
I was just thinking that. I was thinking about games that are going on Friday night. It is scrimmage, so you have to take everything with a grain of salt. But one of the games that a lot of people are interested in is Rockmart at Pepperell.
Yeah.
I think Rockmart was kind of, I don't want to say shocked, surprised last Friday night at Bremen. Huge expectations going down there, and Bremen, holds them scoreless for the varsity half.
I mean, Bremen's always one of those scrappy teams, and I think they're returning a good bit. I think we've seen this before. We've seen this before where Bremen plays them real close or something like that in the spring, and then or in the fall scrimmage game, and then all of a sudden Rockmart's like has this eye-opening game where they just hammer somebody. So I don't know. I don't know if you can take a lot of stock in that. Normally, I'd say you can't, but I mean, I like Bremen. I think Bremen's going to be competitive in that region and have a chance in that region. So
I wasn't at the game, or I don't know anybody who was at the game, so I don't really know. But from what I heard, Rockmart just kind of took it as a scrimmage game.
yeah,
They have that bullseye on their back, man. Anytime Rockmart comes to town, you want to beat them, So
well, that's the way. I mean,
play, man.
good teams are always like that, correct?
Yep.
Eric says Pepper blew out of Daresville 34-20 last week. That's a lot of scoring for a scrimmage game. Was that the varsity final, or was that including the young kids too? Also, how I don't know if you saw the game, but how did the Pepperell quarterback do? Because I think they're breaking in a new guy as well. I seen him in padded camp and watched some highlights from that. I've seen a few of the local teams. I've seen Northwest multiple times, Southeast a couple times. I watched Coosa. I watched that Coosa game the other day. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was impressed with what I seen from Coosa versus what I was expecting. I watched that show that WLAQ did with their head coach, and I'm not saying he was down on them, but he was kind of poor mouthing a bit, saying, we've got this freshman quarterback, we got this and we got that. I mean, I was impressed with the young kids. He was saying that he was going to have multiple starters that were going to see their first time on the varsity field, and they got a couple guys that can go in the backfield, and the quarterback was pretty good. I don't know what happened at Rockmart, but the Cannon kid, I'm guessing, started at quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take time to gel. I mean, these are kids, 14 to 18 years old. Offenses are always behind.
kind of like what we saw last year with Rock Martin Bremen. Remember how we went down to that game and
yeah.
Parsons was starting at quarterback, the little freshman, and I mean he looked okay. You could tell he had some arm strength, but I mean he didn't look great. And then he comes out and has probably one of the best freshman seasons in the state last year. And I thought right now he's a All-State, pre-All-State. You never know, man. You never know.
So Eric says that Pepperell looks scary. I don't know. I mean, I watched Pepperell a couple times. They had some decent size, bringing in a new quarterback. A couple of pretty elusive running backs, kind of undersized, but I'll be interested to see. I hadn't seen any film or anything on that game, so I'll be interested to see those. I'll be interested to see tomorrow night, see what Gordon Lee can put out there against Southeast. I look for that to be somewhat competitive, I think. They'll be spirited for sure at Southeast, but we'll just have to see how those games go, and then you're going to see Heritage and who?
Boyd Buchanan.
Got no idea what Boyd Buchanan has or how big or any of that. So that'll be interesting. It's always good when you see those cross-state things because, I mean, you never know how people are going to match up. You normally see like Georgia, Alabama. You see some Georgia, Tennessee, things like that. Very interesting games. There's a few high-profile state border battle games this year. I'm sure we'll highlight them as we go, but a few that our Northwest Georgia teams have.
You got ones here in Northwest Georgia, and then you got the one statewide. You got that big game week 1, Clay Chalkville versus Creekside.
Hey, David Pollard says that Bremen could actually test Heard County this year. When is that game, and where do they play, Dave? That would be very interesting to see, especially if Heard had to go to Blue Devil territory.
I told our buddy Charles Israel the same thing, man, after I watched a little of that Bremen game. I kind of penciled in Heard County as the winner in that region, but
I mean, we did the pick 'em, but the preview show a couple weeks ago, and I think we both had Heard County winning that region, and we did have Bremen up toward the top and competing, but we didn't pick them to win. So we might have to rebalance a little bit after a few weeks. And it's our show, so we can do that. All righty. Got anything else going?
That's it, man.
All righty. Well, we'll be back next week.
Tuesday. What about Tuesday? That sound good?
Tuesday's fine with me. Next Tuesday, we'll be back for our Pick'em show. We'll pick every game from every school in our Northwest Georgia area, and it's mostly non-region, so there will be a ton of games. So come check us out. We'll probably have 50 games, and there may be some Northwest Georgia on Northwest Georgia crime next weekend, but it'll be interesting to see how many we come up with, and if we get half right, I'll be happy early in the year.
David said 10-16 at Heard, October 16th, Bremen at Heard County.
Okay. All right. That'll be one we'll circle on the calendar along with a few others. All right. Well, we'll come back Tuesday, and we have a new thing that we're talking about doing for the scoreboard show, and we're going to roll that out Tuesday so everybody can find out what we got going on. It'll be interesting, so I'm going to give you stay tuned for more. Tuesday we'll have a graphic for you and explain how it all works out, and I think it'll be fun, and hopefully we'll get some good interaction from the fans. Remember, we're on all the streaming sites: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. If you want to comment and see everything on Twitter, you got to click on it and go into it. We'll be on YouTube, and Facebook's pretty easy. Everybody knows how to handle that. But all righty, until next time, sir.
See you, man.